Oh, you kidding me? Right off the bat, forget to turn that off. Uh-oh. Welcome. Nothing like being rudely interrupted right when I start my live stream. Jordan, welcome to the Dream Team. That is mighty nice of you for signing up. Thank you. I appreciate it. And everyone else, welcome to the Monday night live stream. Hope you're ready. We got 2 hours ahead of us. I don't think there's any Monday Night Football anymore, so hopefully we don't have to deal with that nonsense. And sorry, I thought my girlfriend was spying on me. Nice. Very nice. So a few things to talk about today, and then we'll kind of open it up like always, but we'll just kind of bounce around. Going to give it a few minutes for people to hop in. Switch this to a live chat instead of top chat real quick. Yeah. MTS is inoperable and uncurable. So basically, well, we'll still give it a couple more minutes. People gotta get their notifications and watch the commercial, hopefully, or skip it, or pay for premium or red or whatever it's called now, and never have commercials again on YouTube. Love the plants, nice. Oh yeah, so they're all just in here temporary. I was moving stuff around in the fish room. So, yeah, don't expect to see these plants permanently. Fish Tank Barn, Happy New Year, buddy. $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. It is Happy New Year. I hope you all have some great plans for this year. I think I got a lot of ways to go, but mostly up. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Cool plans. It's been a while since I was able to attend a live Dahlbeck Aqua Design. Welcome. Good to see you again. Brandon says, I just started an immersed tank for plants. Hopefully it doesn't turn into an aquarium. I mean, wouldn't be the worst thing, would it? Recovering from multi-tank syndrome. I only have 63 set up, and I'm only 33. Wait, I only have... What? Let me read this again, Stir Fry. Recovering from multi-tank syndrome. I only have 63 set up and only 33 in my bedroom. Whew. Carol Cox with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Carol. I really appreciate it. Love the plants. Have a great 2022. Yes, I'm about to go real crazy because there's a place here called Flower World that's having a 40% off sale. I did also complete the plant wall for this bare section right here. It's like it's basically like 40 inches wide by 40 inches tall. However, so it's all framed in, and I went to paint it, and I didn't want to wait for nice weather to paint it because we haven't had nice weather in a long time. So something really weird happened where it was in the single digits when I painted it. I tried like a little section, and it did dry, like the sun was out. But it's super cold, but I was like, okay, this will work. I'll just leave it out here all day, right? So I just spray painted the whole thing, just black, right? Nothing fancy, just black. However, like the spray, it was so cold, like the paint froze before it was cured, and it just looks really bizarre. It looks like ice or frost. Frost is a better word. It looks like frost is like permanently embedded in the frame, like. It froze, it got painted over, it cured, and now it can't unfreeze, and it's really bizarre looking. So I don't know if I'm going to redo it or not, but it looks interesting. It doesn't look good by any means, otherwise I would just keep it. But then at the same time, I don't know that I want to sand it down and repaint it because plants are just going to grow over it anyways, and you're not going to see the frame regardless, so chances are I'm not going to do that. Curtis with the $1 super chat. Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate it. And Ginger Grumble with a $20 super chat as well. Flower World Fund. Also, please hit the like button. Yeah, don't forget the like button. Do not forget to hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. That's all I ask for. I appreciate super chats and members and everyone hanging out. But the only thing I ask for is hitting the like button. That is it. Yeah, so that's actually in the fish room right now. I still have to like plan it up. So it's just like the whole thing is just like put together. I DIY'd the whole thing. Black frost, yeah. It's weird. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like I don't know. You'll see it eventually. But yeah. Anyways, just tried putting guppies in an outdoor pond for the first time. So far, very good. Surprisingly, well, I don't know how surprising it is. My white cloud minnows are still alive, even though they're under like a foot of solid ice and like a foot of snow on top of that ice. Texas Fish Room, Camantha, hello. Bob, plant question. With Jungle Val, can you cut it to make it shorter and get a red flame sword? Wait. You can cut it and make it shorter. Yeah, you can absolutely trim it. And got a red flame sword and had it for like 5 months and hasn't really grown, using root tabs and easy green. So red flame sword doesn't get very big. It's not one like... There's a couple Amazon swords that'll like grow out of the top of a 125 and get like 2 feet tall. This is not one of them. So it might already be like an adult plant. I don't know what the technical term would be, but yeah, they don't get very big. Definitely is some satin pothos and rattlesnake Calithia. Well, that's what this one is, right? This is rattlesnake Calithia right here with my back scratcher. And then I don't know enough about pothos like to know what is what. I do have quite a few different species of pothos. Well, it's all one species, but different variations, I guess. But I do love this rattlesnake plant. It's doing really well for me. Okay, so as you can see, first water change of 2022, and I just dropped a 5-gallon bucket of water on the carpet. Nice. Way to kick off the year, Keegan. Way to kick off the year. So I wanted to talk about, like, I'm not really recovering from multi-tank syndrome, but I did actually sit down and go through some old videos of when I had both my fish rooms going. And if you don't know this about me, I have kind of a very, I don't know. When I get into something new, I kind of just go balls to the walls, like without any regard, right? I throw everything to the wind. Doesn't matter. As you can see by the pile of plants, I'm getting into house plants, and now there's whole shelves behind me. It might be. Hold on here. So yeah, the same thing happened with fish tanks, obviously, and with bettas, if you remember that. If you go back like the first couple years on my channel, and I'm never getting, oh, my mic is way too high. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever get a betta fish. And then I went to film a tour at Aquarium Co-op, and they had this crown tail that was black with white tips, and I was like, this is the coolest fish I've ever seen. I actually drove back down and bought it, and then next thing I know, I ordered like 30 betta fish. So that's kind of where I'm at in all my hobbies. And when I had both fish rooms set up, it was right around 46 tanks going. None of them, like, they were all good and happy, and fish were spawning, but none of them really looked good. It was just quite a lot to maintain. And now in my fish room, I have 7 tanks. That's it. And it's so weird. Like, I feed my fish tanks, and it takes like 2 minutes to feed all of my fish tanks, where this used to be like an hour-long process, if not longer. And I find myself like enjoying it way more, like way less maintenance, maintenance. That's it. It's just way less. And now I have tanks that actually look good. But it's so weird. Like, what am I feel like every time I feed my tanks, I feel like I'm missing some. Like, how can I already be done feeding my tanks? I don't know. I don't know. Like, it was fun having like 40 some aquariums. You know, it's like you want all these fish, but I think I'm at the point now where I've had just about every fish, and I really don't have the desire anymore to like just go out and get every fish. I guess I'm enjoying the actual fish tank now more than the fish, if that even makes sense. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know if everyone has gone through that like roller coaster of like massive, like you start off with a couple, then you have like a billion, then you have like a couple because you're like, oh crap, I might have too many. Kenneth says, yep, sometimes less and more. Less is more. Hey, Barbara Jackson, do you see what's behind me? Do you see this? Huh? Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it. Barbara Jackson sent me a Christmas card, and there it is. I don't know. Can you guys see it? I have no idea because I can't see it on the screen. Oh, yeah, you can see it plain as day. Feeding is my favorite thing. Hey there, everyone, and Bob. I want to get to there. Way too many smaller tanks in my case. Yeah, I mean, don't even me like when I had I had like 20 10-gallon tanks, and that was the worst. That was absolutely the worst doing maintenance on that many small tanks. Oh, I hated it. Alice says, I'm still newer to the hobby and I'd love more fish, but I also understand I would be able to keep up with 100 tanks. It's going to be fish and plant room. I mean, I'm definitely taking after Danny. She's definitely rubbing off on me with all the plants and her fish shed. How it's just like a little tropical paradise. I'm gonna try some new things, some different things, some aquaponics. I've already started a aquaponics wall, if that makes any sense. Do you have a stage 4 MTS? We got a stage 4 clinger. A stage 4 clinger. You're in my thoughts. Don't hate it. Don't hate when people say that as if you thought gone. What? As if your thought gonna heal me. I don't no. Garden of Whedon, thank you for the $5, but I have to respectfully disagree. I do not hate when people say you're in my thoughts. While I understand their thoughts are not going to heal me, it's just a nice gesture. It's like, never mind. That can get into a whole different area that I don't want to go into. But anyways, it's just a nice way of saying, I care, but I'm not going to do anything. So you're in my thoughts, and I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to need my first order from Dan's Fish tomorrow. Super excited. Yes. I think we got a link to Dan's Fish. He is shipping. Shipping fish has resumed. Lots of really cool fish. Dan's Fish. Click on that affiliate link. I'm not sponsored, but I'm an affiliate. So I want to thank all the people that have used that link. It helps a lot. And I think you get a lot of value out of that. He's got the best fish that you can buy online. So there you go. I'm going through a reevaluation of how many tanks is right for me. Probably ditching 2 smallish tanks and getting 1 big one. Might put me around 12. Yeah, so my fish room is like far from done. I was going to have a wall of 40 breeders, and now I'm like, screw the wall. Like, I'm going to have like a row of 3, and that's it. Like, I don't know, like I'm really nerding out on plants, and not only like house plants, but I'm back to like nerding out on planted tanks again. And you just can't have like 30 well aquascaped planted tanks. Even if like that's all I did all week, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of trimming. It's a lot of maintenance. My internet is gonna be dodgy. I mean, the weather is atrocious. So if I'm skipping around or something's happening, I apologize. Understood, Bob. Garden of Whedon, thanks. It can become hard work. I was cleaning filters and doing water changes all day yesterday. Yep. Mark, how you doing? Says Mark. I'm at 9 tanks, 2 fry containers, 3 indoor tubs, 2 outdoor tubs. Looking to get down to about 5 tanks and 2 outdoor tubs this spring. Yeah, maybe I'm going to start a movement of less is more. Less fish tanks for the new year. Well, let's get everyone to downsize. Let's take this hobby and go the other direction. Let's not grow it. Let's downsize it. 209 Control. Holy smokes. I feel like I haven't seen you in like 5 years. What is going on, man? Wow. 209 Control. That's a name I literally have not seen in years. Or I've just been ignoring you for years. I apologize. The dodgy internet. I guess I should probably take a peek. Those member chats always like throw me off. It says my connection is excellent. I don't know. I did get a message From Jimbo saying my audio is cutting out. Hopefully it's better. Let me see. All right. 150 people, 78 likes. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yep. Thank you, Jimbo. Okay, where am I at? What were we talking about? What's going on? What day is it? There we are. Mile High Plecos, 38 months. What's going on? Liking the background. Yep. I'm really excited to get this plant wall up. I'm not going to put it up until everything's like fully grown, which hopefully won't take very long. That's my cousin, 209 Controls. You used to be around a lot, right? I feel like when I first started, I saw that name everywhere. I don't recognize the icon, but I do recognize the name, so I'm confused. It's okay for me at the moment. It cut out earlier for only a few seconds. No big deal. All right. Cool. We can move along. Your lousy weather came here today. I mean, I don't think it's lousy. I like it, but it definitely wreaks havoc on my internet. I went from 2 tanks to 9 tanks in less than 6 months. I got MTS help me. LOL, please. At 209 Controls, my older cousin. Awesome. It's a family affair in the stream today. Get your grandmas in here. Get your aunts and uncles. Get them all. Get them all in here. Yeah, instead of having all the species only or 2 species tanks, we're combining into like-minded community tanks that are bigger, less individual work. Yes, less tanks, but larger tanks for sure. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've never done it before, but like my 125, that if you haven't watched the video, because only like 3 people have watched it, but I did actually release a video. And my New Year's resolution for this year is to make a video. So you guys got to hold me to it. By December 31st, I better have put out a video or I fail my resolution. You guys got to hold me to it. But anyways, my 125-gallon paludarium video, the plants are just exploding in that tank. I already want to do an update because it's already like the plants have like quadrupled in size in the last 3 weeks. It's so much fun. It's crazy. So I'm like totally just nerding out on planet tanks. 209 Control, get more tanks again. I just need one more, a 40 breeder, I swear. Just one more. I'm finally to the point where I don't check like Facebook Marketplace like 10 times a day or Craigslist or OfferUp. Like, ooh, let's get some of them free tanks or some of those super cheap tanks. I actually kind of had a catastrophe over the last week, and I don't even care. Like, I'm just like, thank goodness. So it got so the weather here has been like really bizarre, like record lows, record rainfall, record winds, record everything. If there's a record for it, we broke it last month. But this last week in particular was really weird. I have a lot of tanks that are not necessarily outside, but they're not indoors. So they're like, they're basically out in the elements, but they're covered and things like that. So it froze, like they're not full of water, and the glass just started shattering on them, like on all my tanks. Right, there's like 75-gallon tanks, 40-gallon tanks, 20-gallon tanks, all these tanks, and they just started shattering. It was very bizarre, and like I could understand if they were full of water and it's freezing and it's expanding and they're exploding, but no, they're just like spider webbing, like just like shattering. It's just, I think I lost about, I haven't got counted yet because it's all under snow and I'm not going to go root around like broken glass in the snow, but very bizarre. So what they were is they were on the, kind of on like a side of a big garage, and then they were covered, and once they started shattering, I was just like, oh my gosh, I took off the cover and I was like, I'm going to start moving them. And I was like, don't even care. Like, I'm not gonna deal with this glass. They can keep breaking. Don't even care. Like, I'm over it. I got my few tanks in my fish room. I'm happy. This is like a blessing. I don't have to like store these tanks. I don't have to try to sell them. Although I do have to clean up all the glass, especially for the dogs. So that's going to suck. But I don't know. It was honestly like one of those things where like, it's just, now it's something less that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to deal with it. I don't know. Huge temperature differences can do that to glass. Yeah, because I did have one 10-gallon that was full. And that one is one of the ones that didn't shatter. A 10-gallon tank that was full, like it started to freeze and it like up and over. So there's like a dome of frozenness over the 10-gallon tank, and it didn't. And that one didn't break. But all the ones that were empty have like cracks. They either spiderwebbed or just straight up shattered. I mean, somebody could have just come by and thrown rocks at them for all I know, but I'm pretty sure I would have caught that on camera, or my dogs would have seen it. It's going to be fun cleaning up when the snow thaws, though. That's strange. I have an old all-glass 50-gallon that survived 6 Florida hurricane seasons outside. I can't bug you to save the glass anymore. That's one of the first things I thought, Zen. Not of you bugging me about the glass, but I'm like, okay, so this 40 breeder still has 2 good panels. I can save those panels. So I am going to save the panels that didn't break, and maybe go like full Serpa design where you just start building your own little like enclosures and terrariums. And I don't know. I love that dude's channel. Tanner is way more talented than I am, but now I'm going to have all these like random pieces of glass so I can go nerd out on his channel and make little terrariums or something. I don't know. We'll see. Wonder if you had saved them. Yeah, I mean, the glass. I mean, honestly, a lot of these tanks are really old, like 40-gallon, or not 40-gallon, but like dollar per gallon sales from like years and years and years and years ago. Like the old Tetra ones. So there, I mean, there's not like any of these are like brand new tanks, and they've been moved multiple times, and I don't know. Save the big glass for lids, yeah. Yep. I'm really not running too many lids in the fish room. Like, I built this fish room in the thinking that I was going to have a ton of tanks and I was going to have to control humidity. But now with only 7 tanks, like, half of them don't even have lids, and my dehumidifier is, like, it never turns on anymore. It never does. It's sweet. You can make pots for your houseplants also. Doesn't John have a drone? Case of the broken aquarium glass may have been solved. Yeah. I woke up a couple days ago to about 40 fish in my Amazon community tank, belly up, and the rest barely alive. All the parameters tested normal, so I changed out the water twice and managed to save them. Oh, that's the worst. I think we've all been through that at one point. Still not sure what happened. That's what makes it even worse. Like, when you lose a lot of fish and you don't know why. I will say it would be kind of weird to have 40 dead fish and your water parameters being fine. That doesn't make much sense. Like, you should have like ammonia. You should have like high nit, like something like dead fish give off a lot of ammonia. So that's pretty weird. But how did you ever get your Panagaras to breed? Pure luck. Pure luck. I wasn't even trying. Like, it was one of those things where I just put them in a tank. I never did water changes. I just fed them every day. And then next thing you know, there's like little itty bitty fry swimming around. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? These are supposed to be like super hard to breed, but people have done it. It was only like one time, and I have yet to ever get them to spawn again. All species tank. How many silver tip tetras can I put in a 55-gallon? Anyone? Silver tip's not the smallest tetra, but not the largest by any means. You could easily do like 3 dozen, probably like 2-3 dozen. Heater problem. It could have been, yeah, heater malfunction. Yep. Going full Serpa design. Yes. Have you seen his latest? He always makes me want to DIY my tanks. Yeah. You know what I really like about Serpa design is that he's actually like a really like mellow, like just really he's just a real guy. Like, he's super chill, really relaxed. I don't know. Just got the co-op air pump. It's amazing. I wonder if it can run 2 10-gallons. Leo, you're one of the lucky ones that got the co-op air pump. Nice. I've never used it, so I don't have any experience with it. I couldn't tell you if it could run 2 or not. So I'm sorry you wasted the $5 super chat. But maybe someone in chat can answer that. Like I said, I've never used it, so I don't know. I think it's fair to say most people discover something breeding on accident. Mm-hmm. Only the water parameters that were tested were fine. Well, that's true. That's an excellent point. Maybe you only tested for nitrates, or I don't know. Hey, Bob, will a Fahaka puffer that's under an inch go with discus for now while it's small? I wouldn't worry about the puffer. I would worry about the discus picking on the puffer. Yeah, it wouldn't be. It's not something that I would like. I mean, depending on how temporary. If it's like for now means like a couple weeks or a month, sure. But if it's for now means like a couple years, probably not. They grow really fast, so just keep that in mind. I'm guessing maybe my kid's got something toxic in the tank that doesn't register on the test kit. That could be true. And I mean, test kits aren't like 100%. I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not like the end all be all. I'm guessing maybe my kid's got. Oh, I got this one. Hey, Bob, will my Fahaka puffer that's under inch? I already got that one. CJ9. Excellent use of the copy and paste, my friend. If you guys have a question and I don't answer it, feel free to copy. Don't spam. Give us some time in between. I try to get to all questions. So keep that in mind. Don't spam or the mods will get you. But feel free to ask it like every couple minutes, and eventually, hopefully, I will see it. Max K, welcome to the Dream Team. I appreciate it. Household cleaners and have killed many fish, maybe? Amy says, I'm consolidating 2 tanks, but I'm only bringing over plants from one tank to the other. Should I do anything to the plants before adding them to the other tank? Only if you want to. Like, there's no... are you serious, Clark? Are you serious, Clark? They saw Santa flying? Are you serious? Only if you want to. Like, there's really no need. If you want to prune, if you want to trim, if you want to separate, that's all up to you. There's no, like, need to if you don't want to. Steenfott, I want to set up another community tank next to my 29. Should I get a bigger or smaller tank? Honestly, if you have room for a 29, I would probably do another 29 because I think that would look the best versus having like odd size aquariums sitting next to each other. But that's just personal preference. If you don't care about that, then my next piece of advice would be bigger is always better. So if you got room for a bigger one and the funds, get a bigger one. How long does it take cherry barbs to color up in a tank to get that bright red? So G35, you really want a good diet for them. You can take like any run-of-the-mill cherry bar from like Petco or PetSmart and really make them color up nicely. I've never had an issue no matter where I got cherry barbs, as long as you're feeding good food. So, I mean, if you're like feeding like Wardleys or some random thing you got at Walmart, probably not going to be too happy. But if you feed like Extreme or Frozen Live, a good variety of good food also, and you can get them very cherry, very cherry. Hi, Bob. Can you keep a couple Congo puffers with Geo, Wine, Milleri, Hecklei, Rose Lines? I don't know. Honestly, this is going to sound terrible, Bunny Viper, but if a spotted Congo puffer was like $20, I would probably try it. But at like $200, I don't know that I'm going to trust the Geos. They're not specifically an aggressive or angry fish, but they can definitely cause some problems if they feel like it. What's your secret with that rattlesnake plant? It looks amazing. Is that room fairly humid? So, yeah, they're just in here temporarily because I'm moving stuff around in the fish room. So normally my calatheas or whatever they're called are in the fish room, and so far they've all done really well. And it is, I mean, it's not like super humid. I have my dehumidifier set at 55, and it might run like once a day, if that. But I do miss every day, sometimes twice a day if I'm bored. So yeah, I keep them well hydrated. and not like the soil. I just missed the leaves, and I don't know, everything. I watched a few videos on YouTube, and they're like humidity and mist, and so I'm like, all right. They come from like a warm area, so it's warmer in the fish room as well. But I hear a lot of people have problems with them, so I don't know. This one's only like a month old, so maybe it just hasn't started dying yet. Regina says, I lost all of my shrimp, one after the other. Water parameters are great. No fish losses. I think it was because I ran out of Fritz Complete and could only find API Stress Coat. I'm telling you, I will never use API Stress Coat ever again. I had an incident about 5 years ago where I used API Stress Coat, and almost within like 5 minutes after dosing it, like all my fish started going belly up, and it had this weird like oil residue that was like on top of the water, and I was just like, all right, never using that again. It may have had nothing to do with it, but I'm telling you, within minutes. Maybe I stored it too warm, and maybe it was really old before it got sold to me. I don't know, but I'm 100% convinced it killed all my fish. But I have no proof, so. Calathea need to dry out a bit before watering. Yeah, so I don't like, like I said, I just miss the leaves, not like the soil, so. I don't know. It's working so far. I hope it just keeps working. Glitch Aquatics, hello. That's that's true. All I tested for was ammonium nitrates, pH, GH, and KH. Yeah, I mean, who knows? You could have had something funky come through your water if you did a water change. I'm not gonna say it's common, but it does happen more than I would like. Just got some red Venezuelan cories for a bargain. I don't think I've ever seen red ones. That's pretty neat. Can't go wrong with a bargain. Good evening, all from New York City. I got an angelfish, and he is mean, and had to remove the rosy tetra as well. Angelfish definitely can be jerks. Where's my Bob Lazar picture? It's just right here. It's just sitting right here. I haven't found a permanent spot for it yet, so I don't know. Well, I'll figure out somewhere for it. It'll probably be like some wall way over there that you'll never see it again. DeFries Aquariums, aka Rob DeFries. It's the one with aloe in it. I think the shrimp couldn't deal with the aloe. It's normally found in water. It's not normally found. Wait, what happened? What? What did I miss here? Check the stress coat label. That may be the one that kills algae. Aloe. That seems. Aloe's not very uncommon though. My kids put Skittles in my 35-gallon, and all my guppies died. It happened within 4 hours. I noticed the water started looking reddish, and I was like, something's wrong. Ooh, that's brutal. That is brutal. What do your Panagaras like to eat? Everything. They're like the most unfussy fish you will ever find. So they get wafers, they get frozen, they get it's definitely a high algae diet though. So algae wafers, zucchini, cucumbers, things like that. But you know they love extreme flake food as well. They go crazy for that. So they're not opposed to eating some protein every once in a while as well. Do you ever listen to old Art Bell shows? Oh yeah, all the time, and they still play them on the radio. I think at like around 11. Although I'm usually not up that late anymore. Question from Russell: how old does a tank need to be before it's time to get a new tank? I have a 55 that's around 10 years old. That's kind of like, if you were to like search the internet, 10 years old would probably be the most common answer. Like, I need to reseal my tank. It's 10 years old. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tanks that I would not feel comfortable. Like the dollar per gallon, 55-gallon tanks are very bad. Well, not very bad, but like the old Tetra 55s are just awful. I wouldn't trust those past 10 years. I had some 40-gallon Tetra breeder tanks from the dollar per gallon sale that just shattered. I wouldn't trust those ones. A lot of those I didn't even plan on setting back up because I could already see like the silicone separating. Like every time I did water changes, it would just like expand and contract with the with how much water was in there. So I was never gonna set those back up anyways. Would giant coolie loaches be compatible with adult red cherry shrimp and near ice snails? Been having great luck with Dan's fish. Your giant coolie loaches might pick off some cherry shrimp, depending on how your tank is set up. If you have lots of plants, lots of places for your shrimp to hide, they'll probably do all right. But primarily, they're more of an algae eater. I bought a school of Adolphoi cories, and I want to breed them and put them all in my other tanks. Any breeding tips? So cories are pretty easy to get to spawn. That being said, I've never bred a Adolphoi. But my general rule of thumb for breeding any cory species is lots of live blackworms. If you don't have access to blackworms, then just frozen bloodworms, but lots and lots of high protein food, and then a water change with the water cooler. So if your tank is like at 78, then maybe change it with like 70, like a 50% change with like 70 degree water. And if you time that with like if you have like a rainstorm or something like that, then it'll usually trigger them to spawn. Plant rack looking amazing. It's not really a plant rack, but it's a temporary plant rack. Temporary. One of my jerk friends put an empty beer bottle in one of my tanks during a poker party. I didn't notice until the next day. Fish were okay. I would be so pissed. I would be so mad. Oh man. Especially, what if you like lost all your money to that guy and he put a beer bottle in your tank? Ooh. Will GE Silicone 1 fix those tanks if you do the whole thing? Yeah. Technically. But honestly, the amount of time it takes to reseal a tank, like really reseal it, like taking the panels apart and scraping it all down, I would just rather. To me, it's just I'm gonna spend $50 on a new 40 breeder than spending days resealing it. That glass opened up like a car door, didn't it, Bob? I'm over the dollar per gallon. For around here, it was really the Tetra. Like since they've switched to Aquarium. The first couple years, so it was Aquarium, then it was Tetra, then they, I don't know why they went back to Aquarium. I just assume it was because everyone was complaining. But there was times when, there was like 1/4 inch plus gaps, or like it was overlaid like a 1/4 inch. It was ridiculous. So those ones, yeah, I would never buy another Tetra dollar per gallon tank. The Aquariums for the first couple years were really good, and then you could tell like quality control has definitely come down on the Aquarium. Like there's like big globs of silicone just in random places on the glass. Like they're just shooting that crap all over the place, and they're yeah. So the last couple years they've kind of gone down, but still far superior than the old Tetra dollar per gallons. Or you lost all your money to him and he kills him, or he lost all his money to Lumpy Dog and then was like, screw you, I'm killing your fish. Or he was just drunk. When is Danny coming on with you next? Pretty soon, I would imagine. Pretty soon, whenever the schedules realign again. But we definitely talk about it, and we know it's time. So hopefully sooner than later. Can I do a fish in cycle with a pistogramma? You could. I would highly recommend you don't, but you definitely could. They're not going to be the most forgiving fish when it comes to spikes. They're definitely not a white cloud minnow. So I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. I have 2 female Burchardite in my community tank and Econ tank, because I wanted to avoid breeding them, but they are still very aggressive towards the other fish. Do you think I should remove them? Yeah, I would. I'm a big anti-Burchardii person. Like, I will never have Burchardii in any of my Tanganyikan tanks. Never gonna happen. Should you remove them? I mean, that's your call. I would if it was me. I bought a Top Fin brand 40 gallon. The glass is clearer than my Aquarium tanks. Really? I forget. Like, there was a flow chart somewhere, because there's really only like 2 manufacturers of fish tanks, and like Top Fin, and you know, they're just all rebranded. I forget, like, it's been so long since I've seen that flow chart, I forget, but yeah, most of them are all made by the same companies. I'm kind of done with glass tank. The good news is the money will curb MTS, the money on acrylic tanks. They're pretty ridiculous for sure. But they're so easy to work with, though. I love acrylic tanks. Would you buy a new tank with a built-in overflow for a Planet Aquarium? Nah. I don't know. Like, I think it depends on the size. Like, if it was like a huge tank, then maybe, like, and I'm talking like, I don't know, like 125 or bigger, I might go with an overflow. But it really depends. Like, if I have a lot of tanks, probably not. If I just had like a couple tanks to maintain, then I might go with a sump. Not the sumps are hard to maintain, but I don't know. I'm a big just like throw in a sponge filter and call it good type of guy. Debbie says, Carol, we just got our first acrylic, a Sea Clear 90. Nice. I have a Sea Clear 90 right outside my fish room door, as a matter of fact, acrylic. I got it for $60 used, and I think I'm going to try to sell it for $60. Rock piles and hiding places also help Corey fry that managed to get away. I noticed a few stir-by Corey about an inch long yesterday. Rock piles. Yeah, like larger gravel. If you don't want to remove eggs, then like larger gravel, what you could do, like you said, rock piles. I guess it really depends on if you're removing the eggs or if you're going to try to let them like hatch in the tank. Top Fin 5 gallons are getting really good. Just not a big nano tank guy myself. Ginger with the $5 super chat says, please hit the like button. I agree. Let's take a look here. 112. All right. And over 200 people. I like it. Have you ever had any experience with Seachem Paragard? I love Seachem Paragard, Kevin. I've used it many times over the years. It's it used to be like my first go-to, like something, I don't know what it is, but something seems strange with this fish. Paragard is a very, very mild medication, so I never had any problems like putting it in. I wasn't worried about other fish or shrimp or plants. But anytime it used to be anytime I saw something a little funky, then I would go with I would just put in a little Paragard, and sometimes it cleaned it up and sometimes it didn't. Zenzo interviewed that longtime fish store owner in San Francisco. He said that during that huge earthquake, only his acrylic tanks broke. So weird. It's actually very common for acrylic tanks to break. It's how they break is different, right? So glass usually pops at the seams, right? At the silicone. Acrylic will like pop out and break like anywhere. If you really have to make sure your acrylic tank is square, like it has to be square, especially if it's a larger one. Because just a little bit of tweaking, like I've seen like entire like chunks of the front panel just pop out, just boom, explode. So how they break is a little bit different, and it kind of makes sense to me because I've seen like so many acrylic tanks break, and acrylic tanks are considered like bulletproof. I would never be afraid of one popping or breaking, but they just do, like how, I don't know, it's hard to explain, like how they break is different than how glass breaks. What type of tool do you need to cut light diffuser? I just use like tin snips. I've used scissors. I've used pliers. Yeah, it's not that hard to break the little tabs on the light diffuser. Best mate's younger brother fed a redback spider to his Oscar. Thankfully, it was okay. His younger brother wasn't after his brother caught him. Yikes. Good to know, Bob. I had ick in my 75-gallon and used IckX. Worked great. Just following up with the Paragard to make sure. Yeah, I've even had Paragard. Like, I've used Paragard successfully with ick as well. So, I don't know. I really like Paragard. It's just like over the last year or two, I've kind of moved away from medication and gone back to just salt for when I have issues. It's way cheaper for one, and I find that it works just as well, if not better. Ian, welcome to the Dream Team. I appreciate it. I think that's like 2 or 3 members tonight. That's pretty good. I love it. Thank you, guys. And keep an eye out for those members-only streams. Favorite flake food? Mine's Extreme Krill Flake and Cobalt Veggie Flakes. Mine is definitely Extreme Krill Flake. I do like Omega 1 Flake as well. The Cobalt I haven't used in many years, but I remember liking that one too. But my favorite flake is probably the Extreme Krill, and my favorite food overall is the Extreme Nano pellets. What's my favorite fish you haven't kept and want to keep in the future is the Bentachromis tricotti, which is this fish right here. Oh, I gotta get myself back on screen here so I can see. This one here. This is a Bentachromis tricotti without glare. There you go. You can Google that. This is a drawing or painting by Sam Scales. Super cool dude. But that's the one. I'm always on the lookout for them. I'm kind of cheap because I have seen them for sale, but they're like $300-400, and I don't want to pay that much. I would have fed the little brother a red. How do you know how much salt to dose and when? So I definitely have to say that I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not an animal doctor. I'm definitely not a fish doctor. I've just gone through a lot of trial and error, and I just can't give out that kind of advice because I don't want to be responsible for killing other people's fish. So, there's there's tons of information on the internet. I would highly suggest reading lots of people have like, ooh, you do this much per gallon or this much per gallon. Corridoras, for instance, you don't want to do as much as you would other fish, but you can still use salt with corridoras. Absolutely. You can use salt with plants. You can use salt with shrimp. But again, there's a lot of trial and error. So salt with live plants, I've heard yes, no, yes by people that I swore said no. I'm so confused. So the reason it's confusing is because a lot of it depends on the plants. So like your Anubias or your sword plants, your Java ferns, your generally plants with like thicker leaves can handle salt better. Like that's very simplified, but generally that's the case. Whereas like maybe like some smaller species of like Laguidia or what's one that really doesn't like salt? Like stargrass does not like salt very much at all. So you really it's just one of those things like you gotta kind of like, okay, I put this much salt in there, and then the next day it looks like my plants are not having fun, so I gotta do a water change, and maybe next time I use less salt. They're like, yeah, Ginger, there's so many variables. Also dosing salt with someone from if someone has salt or soft water versus dosing salt for someone who has hard water, like there's already lots of mineral content. So there's so many things. Like this is why I don't like doing it. Like the few times I've tried to give out advice, like people just message me and like, oh, my fish are dead, and I did what you said, and I'm just like, hey man, I just letting you know what I did. I didn't, so I don't know. I don't really like giving out medical advice. because I'm not a veterinarian. So, what type of algae do coolie loaches eat? This is amazing news to me. I've never heard of coolie loaches eating algae, ever. They are definitely easier to move. You're talking about acrylic, I think. I didn't like the small opening when I was scaping it, though. That definitely sounds like an acrylic tank. That's my problem I'm going to have with my 300. That's the problem I had with my 240-gallon acrylic tank, is the small openings on top. Hey. Any advice on gravel vacuuming a shrimp tank? Don't want to suck them up. Yes, get yourself a nice carpeting plant and never vacuum again. That's my advice, Curtis. Or you can get like pantyhose and put it over the end of it, but you don't really suck up a lot when you have like a filter like that on the end of your hose. But it's a give and take. You gotta, if you're worried about the shrimp, you gotta go super slow and just keep an eye on them, or just get carpeting plants. Carpeting plants. Any advice? Oh, we already got that one. Also heard mix the salt and water and pour in. Just don't pour salt directly in. So yes, that's a good tip. If you're new to salt, don't just dump it in. I have and I do, but let's say I have like a 20-gallon long, right? On this side of the tank, I have my stargrass, and I have it trimmed up over here. There's a nice open area. If I'm dumping salt in, I'm dumping it over here. I'm not just throwing it right on top of the plants, because that's going to melt your plants almost instantly. So yeah, in general, it's a good rule of thumb to probably mix it up and dissolve it in water first. But even then, like dumping a high concentration of dissolved salt in water over my stargrass is probably still going to kill it. So if you got like a little open area with no plants, that's where you want to put your salt in. Dojo loaches with goldfish. A lot of people do it. I've never done it, but a lot of people do. My stupid iPod changed the word. Plants, you say. Plants, you say. Had a bad allergic reaction to bloodworms, so I'm going to culture some live foods. Any tips on scuds or setting up a brine shrimp tub? So brine shrimp tub, really easy, but don't expect like amazing like hatch rates or I don't know how many you're looking to produce, but I do it I have a 100-gallon brine shrimp tub, and they're really not reproducing at all right now because they're probably frozen. But in the spring and summer, you can really get a lot of them going, and it's just super easy. Like you just set it and forget it, and they do the rest. As far as scuds, I've only accidentally been able to keep scuds alive. I've tried a couple times to start scud colonies, and it's never worked. But then sometimes, like out of the blue, they just show up, and I have like a billion scuds in my tanks, and I'm like, whatever I'm doing at that point to that tank, I just keep doing that. But I've never actually purposely been able to start a scud tank. I don't know. What if there were glow bichers, bickers, shears? Not my thing, but it would look funny. It would look kind of funny. Just jumped in and saw the title of the chat. Have 3 decent-sized tanks, and I'm going to stop it there, I think. Yeah. I mean, must have heard you wrong from my earlier question. My bad. We were talking about Panagoras earlier when I was talking about algae. I put my other hand in the tank to scoot away shrimp. There you go. Get your little gravel vac and your little finger. Get your fingerlings going. Get out of here, shrimp. What if there are glow bikers? Man, I don't know. I think the glowfish are getting kind of out of control myself. Getting out of control with the glowfish. Awesome. Thanks, Bob. Well, thank you. Whispering Waters. I want a glow bicker. Oh, boy. How many tanks do you have right now? A whopping 7. And a lot of broken tanks. But tanks that are set up right now with fish in them. Actually, yeah, 7. I should clarify. I have 8 tanks. Only 7 have fish. The 8th one has crabs. I could try that. Thank you. I want to enough with the glowfish. Shut up about the sun. It's pronounced biker, not bicker. Oh, I knew it. Aqua Garden Zen. Hello and happy New Year to you too. Any chance at a peek of your fish room anytime soon? Probably not anytime soon. I've been doing one tank at a time, and you're gonna see one project at a time, and then we'll get a fish room tour probably within, I don't know, maybe a month and a half, which in Bob time is probably like 2 years. You know, we take it pretty easy. You know, life moves pretty slow around here. Good idea. Just added sand with my hand in sections, not smother the bacteria, just in case that's possible. I really wanted some emerald iris boras for my next fish. I think they look awesome. They do. I can assure you they do. I could put them with my son Danio Axelradi and my 33 long dirted. Oh, they would look actually really good in that tank. Either if you can't get your emerald iris boras, maybe the lamp-eye killifish would be a good alternative. Also, a really cool fish that would look good in there. What rare plecos do you have at the moment? I have L264. I have L397. I have colonies of both of those. And the only other plecos I have are some longfin, super red bristlenose, and some longfin green bristlenose plecos. Thank you. Love the plant shelf and all of the contents. So cool. Yep. I agree. It is temporary, but there will eventually be plants permanently. But right now, once I'm done moving stuff in the fish room, all these plants will go back into the fish room. But I will replace them when I go to Flower World in a week or two. Turkey baster, the best tool for aquarium maintenance. It is definitely a highly used instrument. If you don't have a turkey baster, get one. Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I won't. It's pronounced shamalama ding dong. Can you please tell me about your plant lights in the background? So these are just like, there's this one, and then there's one down on this shelf that's turned off because there's no plants there. And it's 3. They're all connected to one little thing. I forgot to zip tie this one. Get that cord out of the way. Get out of there. It's like it was like $20 on Amazon for the 3 strips, and you can set them up for a 3-hour cycle, 6-hour, or 12-hour. I just turn them on in the morning and turn them off at night manually. So that's pretty much it. I put a piece of strip tape right here. Otherwise, the LEDs would be like just blasting into the camera, and it looked really bad. But yeah, they're just cheap lights on Amazon, like bookshelf lighting, cabinet lighting. I don't know, but they get the job done. You still hang out with Corey? Yes. So for the members, we missed the members only live stream on Saturday night because I was hanging out with Corey and Jimmy. We got the campfire going in the snow, had some fun, and cooked some steaks, and Jimmy made ribs, and we had hot dogs, and just pigged out for a couple hours. I love having campfires in the snow. So yeah, we hung out just a few days ago. What do you think about the onions plant? I don't know that one. Or maybe I do, and I just don't remember it. I shall Google it. Onion plant? Are you talking about like actual onions? Or is there a plant called the onion plant? I don't know. Bird Garden, what's going on, Rack? Good to see you, my friend. $3 super chat. Thanks for coming and hanging out. The onions plant. The onions plant. All I get is onions. I mean, it is a plant. I don't know if you're trolling me and this is actually a house plant, or if you're just talking about onions, the actual plant. Are you really big on house plants and gardening? I'm not really big. I've always liked tropical plants. I've always had them. Like I've probably had like a bajillion of the snake plant, whatever that one is. Because I've always had terrarium. Like when I was, I don't know, in my teens, before my teens, like I was really big into reptiles and tropical species, so I always had house plants. I didn't know anything about them. I would just, oh, here's a plant for $5, you know, throw it in, see what happens. So I've always had them, but I've never like actually known anything about them. Like they either lived or they died, whatever. Gardening, I'm not big on it, but I've always grown something like every year. Like last year I grew cucumbers. The year before that, just potatoes. I've carrots. It's like I'll just pick like one thing and throw them out in a planter and grow them just for funsies. I want to this spring actually build like raised sand beds around my outdoor tubs so that I could use, you know, kind of aquaponics, but not really. I just water those with like the tub water. Just curious, as your houseplants explode, will you sell clippings? Not anytime soon, because I have my 40 by 40 inch plant wall to fill here. I've got a 6-foot plant wall to fill in the fish room, and then like a 7 by 7 foot wall to fill with plants as well. So if after all of that gets established and grows and fills in, then maybe. But I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. It's a small aquatic plant that looks like an onion and grows tall. I know like the banana plant, but onion? Oh, water onion. Oh. Now that sounds more familiar. Yeah, it's a bulb plant, right? Let me type in the word aquarium. We'll use aquarium too. Water onion. Is it a crinum? A crinum? I really like crinum calamastratum. That's one of my favorite all-time plants. Crinum thyanum. I've never kept this plant before. The only crinum I've ever kept is crinum calamastratum, which I don't know if that's considered an onion plant. Onion. Crinum thaianum. Water onion. I've never, like I said, I've never kept this plant, but I have kept calamastratum, and I love that one. And Ginger, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Curtis says, you get anything for these chats besides us being members? No, the chats are just like a way to like reward you, I guess. Like you can have a comment that stands out, but like your name already stands out. So, yeah, I don't know. They don't really do anything though, as far as I know. Like they're just a colored chat for you. Dwarf aquarium onion. See, now this is a different one. All kinds of onions. Onions everywhere. That scientific name says it's a perennial from Rio de la Plata, South America. It looks like a lily, not really. It looks more like a pond plant, maybe. I don't know. Keegan says spotted Congo puffers like to eat water onion. They like a little flavor, a little spice in their food. What can you know? I guess I gotta open this before I drink out of it, huh? Crinum calamostratum are one of my favorite plants too. They're pretty sweet. And quite frankly, it's the only crinum I've ever been able to grow, like, long term. All the other crinums I've tried, all like maybe 2 other species, have lasted like a year and then die off, and then they never grow back. Ponytail palms? Stir fry guy says, onions are pretty good in stir fries. I agree. Little onion, some diced onions and some diced peppers. Make carpet my shrimp tank with Monte Carlo. Whew. You're going big or going home. Monte Carlo, good luck, my friend. Good luck. You're going to need it. Yeah, they're so cute. Ginger. All right. What else we got going on here? Oh, man, we just hit hour number 2. We can talk about anything, finally. We don't have to talk about aquarium stuff anymore. Jeez. All right. Friendly reminder, the hour 2 mark. Hit the like button. Hit that link for Dan's Fish. Go buy some super awesome rainbow fish. The best rainbow fish you're ever going to find anywhere. And I'll even show you. How about this? This is our little commercial. Look at these. Look at these rainbow fish, huh? How could you not want one of these Malandii? One. You want to know what a really cool one is? Where'd it go? This one right here. Yeah, it's a rare fish, so you got to pay for it being a rare fish. But this is a beautiful, beautiful little dwarf species. Pretty sweet. Callie James. All right, what else? I really want these 3 female Parkinsonites. You have no idea how bad I want them. But look at this. Look at all these cool rainbow fish. You want to see some rare Corridoras catfish? Look at these guys. Look at this. Look at this fish right here. That is a striking fish right there. Let me tell you. Hit that link. Go buy some fish. Flagtail panacories. I mean, these are all pretty rare cories. So again, these ain't Petco fish. You gotta pay for them. I got a colony of L264 that I did get from Dan's Fish. Right? Pretty sweet stuff. Go check it out. All right, commercial over. Not sponsored, but I am affiliated. Where are we at? Here we are. Carol Cox says, I used the Dan's Fish link last week. Thank you. I appreciate it. Where is he based out of? Missouri. And I hope to be making a trip down there this year to tour the warehouse. If you have Instagram, go and follow Dan's Fish because he does updates on the warehouse. He's actually building like this gigantic warehouse. And eventually, hopefully, we'll building like a second or an add-on, which is crazy because it's already ginormous. Yeah, go check it out. It's pretty interesting watching something like that being built. I come for the fish talk. I stay for life behavior. All right. We should talk about Bob's love of the Beastie Boys. Oh yeah, let me tell you. My favorite cories are always going to be the pandas. Mine are always going to be the stir-by, but there's many, many beautiful species. Dan's Fish is in Wyoming. Isn't that what I said? Wyoming? I thought Dan was in Colorado. No, Wyoming. If I misspoke earlier, I apologize, but he is definitely in Wyoming. Will albino longfin plecos breed true? I think it's always going to be 50-50, right? Maybe I'm having a brain fart, but I think it's always going to be like half. He's Wyoming. Ease? Cactus Woo Man says it's been 4 months since my loach jumped out. I'm still sad, but I got a new one a few weeks ago. Yeah. I hate Missouri, Wyoming. Wait. Did I say Missouri? I probably did say Missouri, but he is definitely Wyoming. Sorry, did I say Missouri? If he was in Missouri, I'd be like, no, sorry, I'm not coming to visit. It's Wyoming. Wyoming, I promise. Final answer, Wyoming. Final answer. I would never go to Missouri. Too hot, too humid. Bob knows when he let the beat drop. What? I thought my brain was glitching for a second. No offense. Glitch. Yes, Wyoming. Wyoming. I got 8 Matei Cory cats. Sort of looks like pandas, but a little larger, nice and active. Got a group of 8 gold lasers on the way. Hopefully they'll be my new favorite. I mean, the lasers are pretty nice. Whether the green, orange, gold, whatever. They're pretty awesome. As Kyle makes an excellent point. I haven't found a Cory I dislike. I just can't afford them all. That's why you got to breed them. Are Acaras easy to breed? Any experience with them, Bob? If I had to rate them on a 1 to 10, I would rate them like a C. Easy. No, probably like 10 being the most difficult. I'd probably say like a 3 or 4. Not hard at all. They're not guppies by any means, but they're not hard. Now there's some different types of Acaras, but generally speaking, not the hardest. He said Michigan. I said, okay, I'm so confused. I don't even know what I said. I'm not going to rewind it and find out, but he's in Wyoming. I promise. I could do some massive damage, some Jean-Claude Van damage to my bank account at Dan's Fish. Way too many sweet looking fish. I know. I can't wait to go there. Actually, he said Missouri. I don't even know. Can we just like forget that ever happened? It's Wyoming. After reviewing the replay, Missouri was the call. Penalty charge, replay, first down. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Didn't he say California? But at $5 a pop, is that expensive? Wait, for what? I'm confused. I'm on Dan's Fish now looking at autos. I have one tank that I have no problem growing algae in. Autos love their algae. I'm telling you. Why am I not seeing the orange and green laser Corys anywhere? Anyone know where I can find them? I think it's hard to find fish right now in general. But I don't know anyone offhand that has them in stock currently. Honestly, I don't even pay attention, so I wouldn't know. I apologize. Hi Bob, is a red tiger lotus too big for a 2.6 gallon Fluval Spec 3? I think it would dominate that tank. Like, I don't think I would do it. We feed my dad's goldfish some broccoli. They love it. Love it. I have a 48 by 24 Aquarium black pine stand for my 50 lowboy. I'm noticing the bottom of the tank and stand are not flush. How concerned should I be? With a 50 lowboy, I would say you definitely want to make sure like it's all touching. That is a large pane of glass to have it like even a little flex. Like even so all 4 corners are touching, but like this corner, it might be like 1/8 of an inch off. Honestly, it would probably hold, but you never know. Like get yourself like some sort of foam mat to put under it. Just I don't know, go to Home Depot and find like a cheap piece of like, even like 1/8 inch piece of foam, just something. Makes a pretty big difference. I'd probably go like 1/4 inch. 1/8 inch, probably too small. Is $5 expensive for gold neon tetras? I would say it's probably on the higher range of average, but I wouldn't call it expensive. It is. I work at PetSmart and we just missed our first shipment due to weather. Also, Colombia was like in the middle of a civil war last year, so like there wasn't a lot of fish coming out of Colombia, and yeah, it's just a lot of weird stuff happening right now. Well, over the last couple years, really. Have you mixed betta with other fish or keep them solo? I always mix them with other fish. You have to, watch, because I would say a majority of the time you're going to be okay, but sometimes you will get a jerk of a betta fish, and you just got to watch for it. Go to Goodwill and look for a yoga mat. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Spencer, it's too big. I tried one for my 3.5 gallon and I had to move it. It's worth it wherever you plant it. Great plant. Yes, Tiger Lotus is a cool plant, but yeah, they can take up a lot of space. Getting my $15 10-gallon stand from Amazon Thursday. I forgot about it until they told me it shipped. Nice. Honestly, I haven't even checked Amazon for a while. Let's go see if there's any deals on Amazon right now that pop up. Top price drops of pet supplies, please. All right. We're going to look at top price drops of pet supplies in the last day. Well, what do we got? Nothing. Mammoth Flossy Chews Color Rope Toy. All right. Feline Greenies Pill Pockets. All right. So let me check somewhere else. What else we got going on here? Let's just check in general. Marineland Right Size Cartridge C 6-pack, 50% off, $4.50. Aquarium Siphon Vacuum Gravel Cleaner. That's the small one, though. Nobody wants that. Universal Rocks 48-inch by 20-inch rocky background is $10 off. Woohoo. Nothing really amazing on sale right now. All right. Well, we tried. I had a Tiger Lotus fill my 36 bow front. It looked amazing. Yeah, I love Tiger Lotus, but a lot of those like lotus plants I just won't do because you just have to trim so much. Like if they really start going crazy, you have to like trim every single day. Blanch veggies for a minute to make them sink. That is a true statement. That is factual. I kept my betta in a floating breeder and only released him when he stopped flaring. I had no issues after that. Interesting. All right. It's like a timeout. Number of fins. Should I get a standard schnauzer puppy? You should get whatever you want, my friend. Whatever you want. I'm running out of places to say. What's the difference between a quad red Episto, Cockatoides, and super red? Super red is really depends on the seller. So quad red means it has 4 fins that are red. Triple means 3. Double means 2. Super red it used to be 3, but really, like, there's some not so awesome sellers on Aquabid that will sell a double red and call it a super red. So I don't know. I don't really go by super red Cockatoides anymore. If they don't say like quad or triple or double, then generally I'll just stay away from them because you don't really know what you're gonna get. And I don't know, Aquabid, while it is a good place to buy fish, there's a lot of shady people on Aquabid. I think I'll wait for summer tumbling to plant another Tiger Lotus. That would be... I could do Tiger Lotus outside. Maybe I'll do that too. That sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. But yeah, Jennifer, generally speaking, a super red should be a triple red. But be careful. Make sure you're getting it from if you're getting it from someone who's like pretty, has lots of good feedback, is reliable, reputable, then you should get a triple red out of a super red. Dither chat. A male in my 10-gallon. I want to add another glow tetras or black neons. Regina says that a black standard schnauzer for 13 years, super smart, really great dog. I was at a male bed in my tanks until I got the shrimpies. I got a breeding pair of some quadruple super maximum ultra ultras right now. Nice, K-Stu. Nice. Resealing my 125. Any tips? I resealed a 125 myself once upon a time, and it was probably one of the most miserable things I've done in the aquarium hobby. Any tips? So I would get like a Brillo pad, and you can use like rubbing. So after you like razor blade everything off, I would get like a Brillo pad, get some alcohol, and if there's any like little pieces left over, you can just scrape it. It comes right off with a Brillo pad and alcohol. Other than that, it's just your standard reseal process. It takes a long time. Be very patient on removing that much silicone because it's a lot of silicone to scrape off. It takes a long time. Just be patient. Don't rush it. You know, you're not gonna reward yourself later by rushing now. So just be patient, take your time, and really inspect it. When you think you've scraped off all the silicone, there's always more. There's always a piece somewhere. Ginger says, I'm looking at Dan's fish. How many rainbow shiners should I buy? As many as you can afford. I've got a breeding pair of some quadruple super maximum ultras. I like it. Yeah, I resealed my 125 and then I proceeded to break it afterwards. So, that was pretty awesome. It took me 2 days. So I spent not an entire day. Like I didn't spend 24 hours scraping silicone, but one day was spent just scraping silicone. The next day I sealed it, and then I let it cure for a week, which you don't have to let it cure for that long, but as I wasn't in a hurry to use it, so I just let it sit there for a week. Then I filled it up with water in my garage, and I let it sit there for 4 weeks, and I was like, all right, I think I can trust it. And then I shattered the corner when I tried to move it by myself because I'm smart like that. And then I ended up selling it for $60 to some guy who wanted it for a snake. After all that. Best tip I can give is use a blue painter's tape to set limits for the silicone. Yep. Also, when you're siliconing, you want a well-ventilated area. Trust me. Set up fans if you have to, but don't stick your head in a 125 and just seal the whole thing because you'll probably pass out. I put in my order for my 40 brie, 5 Synodontis petricola, 8 Pseudotropheus selosii, debating between Ctenopoma or a school of red fish, maybe something like Serpe tetras, maybe red pseudomcgills. Any thoughts? I think pseudomcgills are going to get just demolished by the I'm assuming you're saying Pseudotropheus selosii, which is an African cichlid, which is going to kill the crap out of any Pseudotropheus, probably going to kill any tetra. So you're going to want a bigger bodied ditherfish if that's what you're going for. I would definitely not do pseudomcgills. They will not last at all. That's the minimum for their well-being. Yeah. Ginger knows they're a schooling fish, and she knows to buy at least 6 for any schooling fish. I dropped a tank recently, broke the bottom panel. I've broken so many tanks. I remember I bought a 20 long at the $1 per gallon sale, and I had a Sega Genesis coupe, and if you've ever seen the trunk of a Sega Genesis coupe, like you can barely fit a gallon of water, like the opening is so small. And I was trying to like tweak a 20 long into the back of this thing, and it just whoosh, and the whole bottom pane just shattered. And I was like, well, that's pretty awesome. So I just took it around and put it in the dumpster, walked back in and bought another one. And they're like, oh, you're buying another one already? I'm like, yeah, I just shattered the last one. And then all I did was like move the passenger seat back, put it in the passenger seat, and drove home, which I should have just done in the first place. When should I add a fish to my new tank? Whenever its cycle is complete. It's seeded and there's lots of plants. I'm afraid when I replant some things, some dirt will come up, dirt a tank, and kill it. Should I wait and replant first? You won't get a lot of dirt planting plants in a dirted tank. If you're replanting, like pulling plants out of a dirted tank, you can definitely get some dirt. None of that should cause you to lose your cycle, though. So if it's already cycled, making the water dirty from dirt is not going to lose your cycle. But, I mean, obviously the advice everyone is going to say is have a test kit and test your water to make sure. Every time I go through a doorway, I crack tanks. Did you say Sega Genesis Coupe? Yep. Sega Genesis Coupe. Every time I go through, oh yeah. Did someone say MTS? MTS? Lucas wouldn't know anything about MTS. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. We got a celebrity in here. Sega Genesis Coupe. You guys have never seen a Sega Genesis Coupe? Come on. I used to own one. Any tips on breeding Panagaras? No. Do they change color when they're breeding mode? 2 of my dolls are turning quite dark. Their yellow stripes are hidden right now. So I did it purely accidental. They're very hard to breed in captivity without the use of like steroids. Mine, it's just very rare. I got lucky one time. They haven't bred before that. They haven't bred after. Obviously, they haven't bred before it, but they haven't bred after that. And it was just a one-time fluke. So I've got no advice other than they like highly oxygenated water. Like they breed in the spring, right, in nature, when water is usually flowing at its fastest. It's highly oxygenated. It's cooler. So you could just try to replicate that as best you can. I think I'm going to buy another one rather than replace the panel. Yeah, it's probably, depending on the size, probably cheaper and easier. Obviously easier. What else we got going on here? Did someone say MTS? Hello, you awesome people. I bought my first shrimp from Lucas. There you go. He became a legend. LRB Aquatics Aquarium Hoarder, same thing. I just made my first order with you last night. There you go. What is LRB? LRB? LBR? LRB. Lucas Brett's Aquatics. What would you recommend breeding for? What would you recommend for breeding a loach? Like, what loaches should you breed? Is that what you're asking? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Get some wood and bamboo shrimp, and a couple weeks ago, Interesting Creatures got some wood and bamboo shrimp. Interesting Creatures, yes, absolutely. They're very fun. I almost said fish, but shrimp to watch. Where do you buy dry ferts? That's an excellent question. I haven't found a good source. So I used to buy them from a company. This was like 5 years ago when I was doing dry ferts. I can't even remember the name of the company. Now I'm actually looking at actual, what am I trying to say here? Like, you can buy huge bulk bags on Amazon, but it would obviously be cheaper to find somewhere local because they're obviously going to jack up the prices because of the size and the weight. I'm trying to find like industrial places that will have like industrial amounts of like potassium carbonate or whatever, whatever dry fert it is I'm looking for. Once I find, I'll let you know. Once I find it, I'll let you know. Are shrimps expensive in the U.S.? They charge like a wounded bull for them in NSW, Australia. They are definitely cheaper here than in Australia. Like, you can buy cherry shrimps. Some people sell them for $1, up to $5 depending on the quality. And then, other strains and colors, they go up from there. But Yeah, it's definitely way cheaper than in Australia. Any particular reason why my male in a school of 4 phantom tetras, 1 male, 3 females, only breeds with one specific female? One of the others is huge with eggs, and the other one is too small. Happy holidays. It could just be the one, man. Love at first sight. You know, they love each other. It's just them. The other two, they're just there. I have no idea. Maybe, the other two might not be fertile. Spitting out blanks. I don't know. I don't know. Craig, it depends on the type of quality. I found them between $2 and $8. Any advice on DIYing aquarium fertilizer using a potting mix? I've never heard of using potting mix to make aquarium fertilizer. There's a lot of things that can go wrong DIYing your own fertilizer. Like how, if you're mixing a bunch of minerals together, it can change how they react and when they react. And there's, yeah, I don't really want to get into that and have you blow up your house because I said something wrong. Yeah, that's tough. I've never heard of using potting mix for aquarium fertilizer though. That's new for me. What you'd want to do, honestly, is look up the EI dosing method for using dry ferts and just learn as much as you can about that. It's just the best way to start learning. EI method, EI dry fertilizer, whatever. Just type in EI estimated index, anything like that, and it'll pop up. Be careful looking for industrial size fertilizer suppliers. Think about that for a minute. Consider a government agency with initials, and don't say the B word. I'm already on the terrorist watch list. I don't care. Like, you know what? I'm buying my fertilizer. They already know I got fish tanks and plants, and you know. Can you crossbreed an albino and blue-eyed pleco? What will the babies come out looking like? That's an excellent question. I don't know the exact genetics on that, but you would probably just get a lot of normal bristlenose plecos, just a lot of chocolates. It's probably, I'm probably going to be way wrong, but you'll probably get like a quarter albino and like 75 chocolates and 0 blue eyes. EI, uh-oh. What rainbow fish would you recommend for a 75-gallon? Jordan, the best thing you could do is pick whatever your favorite color is. If your favorite color is blue, then buy some turquoise rainbows. Buy some Kamaka rainbows. If your favorite color is yellow, you can buy some Herbert axelrodi, the yellow rainbow fish. There's a few other yellow species that are going to be a bit more rare, but there's not a single rainbow fish that will not go in a 75-gallon tank. So yeah, you really just got to find one. It's going to be all about personal preference. Whatever you like will go in a 75-gallon. Any rainbow fish will love that footprint. What size sump for a 75-gallon heavily planted stocked African cichlid grow-out tank? Ken, the answer to that is the bigger the better. You could get like a 20-gallon sump. It would work just fine. You get like a 40-gallon sump, it would be even better. Basically, the larger the sump you get, the less maintenance you'll have to do on it. So, it kind of depends on how much room you have under your tank and how much room you have in your wallet. But bigger the better. But I definitely would not do like a 10-gallon sump. I would definitely do 20 is always, if I have like a 10-gallon tank and I want to have a sump up to that, it's still going to be a 20. I would never do less than a 20-gallon sump. Zen Ginger says, those of you who haven't hit the like button, hit it now. Hit it now. Let's do a like check here. Where am I at? Here we are. Let this update. 165 likes. That's not bad. I'll take it. LRB, when do you stream next? Friday nights. I don't know why I was going to say Sunday, but Friday nights. You will find Lucas live Friday nights. Now, Jordan, if you're asking what rainbow fish I would put in a 75 gallon, that's different. But really, like, it's every rainbow fish will work in a 75 gallon. If you go, like, the main thing is going to be the size. So, obviously, like, larger rainbow fish, you can't do as many. But you can find a rainbow fish in any color. So, whatever your favorite color is, just buy those rainbow fish. Don't look at me like that. I swear. Do Panagaras lose the stripes eventually? Yeah, they shouldn't really have a lot of striping going on. I once made a sump out of 55 and then put that sump on a 65 gallon tank. 55 used to be my favorite. However, 40 gallon breeders make really good sumps. They're my new favorite. My new favorite. Dead air. Tell us more about your tubbing plan ideas. Well, I haven't really got my stocking down definitively, but I would love to do LRB Aquatics. No problem, buddy. Good to see you. Always good to see you in the live stream, man. Always good. The plan next spring for summer tubbing is going to be probably like darters, shiners, just anything native that can live all 12 months outside. Because honestly, like, scooping out fish out of tubs is like the worst thing in the world. And I'm exaggerating, obviously. There's a lot of worse things than that, but it's just not any fun. It's not fun at all. So I never want to have to remove fish out of tubs again. So that's the plan. Native fish that will overwinter. Do you have to still a tank to use a sump? Still a I think you got a auto correct there. I'm not sure what you're asking. Aquatic Ma, Happy New Year, Bob and Bob fans. Welcome. And Jess is here. Main's Tails, Ferns, and Fins. Got very educated last Tuesday night. Yeah, on the ladies only stream. I think you learned a lot, so that's good. Good. Learning is always good. Do you have to still? What could that be a typo for? Still. Do you have to still a tank to use it? Drill a tank. It is the easiest way, but no, there are overflows. But honestly, like, drilling a tank is not hard. It sounds like something you never want to do, but trust me, once you do it once, you're like, what was the big deal? Like, it's so easy to drill a tank. Obviously, make sure it's the right glass, but yeah, the overflows they make, so you, instead of drilling, the overflows they make are just really just like wonky. Yeah, they work, but they can fail. They can back siphon. They can overflow your sump. There's lots of things that can happen, like in power outages. Drilling is just going to be the best way. You just get a diamond tipped like hole saw. They're just a couple dollars, like $10 on Amazon, and just drill, go slow, use water. I actually have a video on how to drill a tank, so watch that and drill it. Trust me, way better than any other option out there. How old would you guess your Pandagaras are? Wait, what? Our Pandagaras are 1.5-year-old and still have their stripes. I have found that mine get more bland the older they get. So, I mean, they're still a super awesome fish. Like, they're still one of the coolest fish out there. But they definitely, the ones that I have, over time, they get just a bit more bland. And that, that could have to do with, like, collection points where they're collected. Who knows? Are you considering putting your tubs in the ground? I haven't decided yet. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to build planters around my tubs instead of burying my tubs. Burying them would be better, obviously, like in the winter, just more insulation. But I don't know. I like the idea of the tubs being higher off the ground, so I don't have to kneel down to like really get in there and look at them. You forgot to say wear your safety glasses, Bob. I am anti-safety glass, and OSHA and we're kind of at odds right now, so what is a good budget for a 10 by 10 or so a bedroom-sized fish room? Oh, gee, I have no idea. Thousands. An actual fish room is going to cost a lot of money. Bob, can you drill a tank that is already already planted, meaning I have a lot that are already planted in season, but when I move out to the outside room, I want all drilled tanks? Yes. So you're basically draining the water, keeping all the substrate and plants in there, drilling them, taking them out, drilling them, and then moving them to the other room? Yes. It's not ideal, and you'll want to have something to catch like glass shards from dropping into your tank. But yes, it can be done. Can you use pine wood for an aquarium? You can use any, are you talking about building an aquarium out of pine, or are you talking about putting pine in like hardscape in your aquarium? Big difference. Kevin says, just put a pair of Dario in my dirted 10 with my lamp eyes. Oh, you already have lamp eyes. That's right, man. They're hard to find. Pretty sure I got a female too. They're gonna be hard to find. AKA Rob, linking the how to drill a tank video, with guest Corey from Aquarium Co-op. If you're building beds around your tubs, why not use the preformed pond liners? What do you mean? Like, I already have the tubs. If I didn't have tubs, I might use pond liners. I'm confused. Preformed pond liners. I don't need preformed pond liners because I already have the tubs. Like, I don't know. I'm confused. If you're going to do an indoor 300-gallon pond, what would be a good way to filter it besides a sponge filter? It seems like aquarium canister filters work when below the tank. There are canister filters that are made for ponds. You just look those up. If you want to go canister, I wouldn't go canister. I would find some sort of like sump system before I did a canister, but just depends. If you want to use a canister, just get a pond canister. But really, even like an FX6 is going to work sitting right next to it. It doesn't have to be below it at all. Like, there's no rule. I need more sunlight for my pond this year. Plants did so-so. 45-gallon dirted with golden white clouds. Yeah, too much sun, though. You're going to fry your plants. Careful what you wish for. Amy says, I spent hours picking out snails from my summer tub. I will never put them in again. Didn't have it in me to let them freeze. No snail left behind. I'm the same way. Like, I will pick out every living thing I can possibly find. Mystery snails with bristlenose plecos in the same breeding for profit tank. So, bristlenose plecos make a lot of mess. Mystery snails, they are very messy as well. So you're going to be doing lots of water changes. It is definitely possible to do. Just be aware that both of those fish are very messy. Create a lot of waste. So as long as you're prepared to do the water changes, it'll work just fine. Uh-oh. Debbie says, Bunny Viper, you ignored my first greeting, but I'll overlook it. Aquatic Ma, welcome back to the Dream Team. Try not to ban anyone this time. That would be appreciated. Careful. Aquatic Ma does have a history of just carpet banning people left and right. So be careful. I want to use pine wood for my hardscape. I don't know that I would use pine. I never knew my membership ended. It didn't end. You might have got like what mostly happens is like new cards, like card expires, you get a new one. That's usually what happens. Can you wear polarized glasses like for fishing? It will show you the difference whether or it's plate or not. If Bob is the same. Yeah, there's multiple different ways. I believe we do go over how to tell the difference in my video. But that video I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't remember. But I feel like it's something we would go over. If not, that's a pretty bad video, which might be a bad video. I have seen the tank drilling video. I would still be nervous. You can't uncut a hole. I have drilled a lot of tanks. And I remember like the very first time I was the same way. I was like, I don't want to do this. Something bad's going to happen, but nothing bad has ever happened. Unless like you're in there and like putting all your weight on it and just like really pushing that drill. As long as you go slow, you have nothing to worry about. You know, throw some water on it, go slow. Diamond tipped hole saw, very important. Normally with this glass shortage, they have been substituting plate glass. I've seen the tank drilling video. Yep. Welcome back, Ma. Oh, smokes. Didn't see that one coming. That was my 5-year-old when he was 3. Yeah. That was so funny. Like, just ban. How does a 3-year-old know how to ban people on YouTube? That's the crazy thing. Like, does he already have a job, like, modding other people's channels? That he's 3 years old and knows how to just come and start carpet banning people left and right? Just, whew, everyone banned. That's so funny. What happened last time? I never ignore anyone except strangers. Usually I'm writing, so I miss people. Like, if you think it's hard to keep up with chat, try it on my end. You guys are talking to like one person. Try talking to 200. And then having a small percentage of those people yell at you because you missed their chat. I've had people message me telling me that they're going to unsubscribe because I missed their chat. Because I didn't read their chat. I didn't see them. I didn't say hi to them. And they were personally offended. Unbelievable what people get mad about. Not saying that either of you two are mad or upset. Just saying in general. I don't know. Crazy story. I do love crazy stories. I removed a hollow rock from my 29 during a water change, and a copperhead snake, dead since last winter, came out. It smelled. You had a copperhead snake in your aquarium. Now that is definitely a crazy story, Russell. That is crazy approved. Here's this dead snake in my aquarium. You're like, why is my ammonia high for like a year? Wow. Is this the rock you like collected outside? You're like, oh, this is a good looking rock. Dunk. Right in your aquarium. To ban folks on my phone, I just have to push and hold the same spot on the phone twice. Actually, relatively easy and accidentally. Alright, I never knew. I can't remember the last time I banned someone on someone else's channel. It's been a long time since I banned someone on my channel. Who can I ban? Goose, not Maverick. My 4-year-old uses my Xbox more than I do. Well, the few times I've actually been on Xbox, that makes a lot of sense. It does seem like a lot of 4-year-olds are on Xbox. Bob, I am personally offended in general by your behavior. Well, you wouldn't be the first. You had 200 things. Bob, you had 200 things. I started my new year by having a van hydroplane into the side of my truck. I'll see this week if it is totaled or not. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Like, if somebody hydroplaned into the side of my truck and it got totaled, that would be a good thing. I'm guessing your truck is probably a little bit nicer than mine, though. Well, I do love my truck, don't get me wrong. This thing is a beast in the snow. But it is not pretty by any means. Put a copperhead in your aquarium to create a venomous fish. I think that's how it works. Like, I've taken a little bit of biology, not a lot, but I think I did learn that in biology class, if I remember right. EOTech or ACOG for Pew Pew toy. Honestly, I would get whatever. If you have one and not the other, I would get what you don't have. If you don't have either, I would get whatever's cheaper and then get the other one later. I don't know. Both will get the job done, so really. Big Owls leaving the U.S. market makes me sad. It was a great 20 years plus. Big Owls, huh? I have never been to one. Is it just an online store, or is that... Like, I feel like I've been on their website. It sounds familiar, but we don't have any around here, so I don't know what it is. Have you set up an auto water change system before? Negative. Does it work by having a large tank that you fill up and treat for the correct water parameters and pump it into your fish tanks? It could work that way if that's how you set it up, but most people just have it coming straight out of the tap, like some source, like they tap into their water line and go from there. But I was planning on doing an auto water change system in my new fish room, but I ended up deciding not to, and I'm glad I did, because I'm only gonna have, like, maybe by the time it's done, like 10 tanks, and I don't need like an elaborate setup, auto water change setup for that. Remember the time I called year, make, and model and color? Did you call the color? I feel like you're making up the color. Like, what color is my truck? Tell me, what color is my truck? You did get the year and the make and model. I don't remember the color though. I learned my lesson letting mystery snails breed. Holy cow, way too many, and they are messy. Yes, and they love to crawl out of tanks and wait, what? My dad had a tank when he was a kid. Then a pet store owner who was drunk came to his house and was like, this tank needs some more water. My dad was asleep and the pet store owner put wine in the tank. What? Now that is like almost unbelievable. Why is a pet store owner just randomly at your house pouring wine into a fish tank? Hey, Kenny, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Do you guys think an RGB floodlight will be good for a planet tank, or better off with the white LEDs? RGB will work, just like all white LEDs will work. Your dogs must be sleeping tonight. Yep. They got, what did they get? They got, what do they got? They got some sirloin steak right before the stream. Was it sirloin? I don't remember what cut. It doesn't really matter, but they got some steak. They ate good, and now they're sleeping. So expanded my game library from 1 to 2. My daughter gave me Animal Crossing on my way to Island Empire. I don't know what any of those are, so there you go. Hey, Bob, what 2-inch small rainbow fish do you recommend for a community? Pseudomagills. If you're looking for 2 inches and under, it's going to be pseudomagills. There's a couple different species, but that's going to be it. Maybe it was a dream. It was only just a white. Ha! See, my truck's not white. It's off-white. It's off-white. Okay? Because I haven't washed it since I bought it. So it's no longer white. It is off-white. No, he was a family friend. Oh, okay. I'm just like, hey, man. He's like, knock, knock, knock. I am a pet store owner. I am here to pour wine in your fish tank. I have the rights. Here's my badge. Let me in now. I don't trust children in the fish house. That's probably smart. And it's not like they're purposely being nefarious, but kids are kids. We do stupid stuff all the time. Had a nearite sneak out of its tank one day. I had raised the lid to seed a new filter. Found it by stepping on it. I had no idea how long it was out. Put it back in the tank. 2 minutes later, it was moving. Oh, well, at least you didn't, like, smash it. When you say you step on it, when I step on a snail, it ain't coming back, I'm telling you. That's a lot of weight on a little snail. I have an awful bladder snail infestation. Wouldn't mind just a few assassin snails, and they had a population explosion too. I got the shrimp food back, and it helped. Yeah. If you got snails out of control, just stop feeding. Stop feeding your fish tank. Fish can go a long time without food. Snails cannot. I got the Fluval Skylight for my tank. Awesome. I've never tried that one, but can't go wrong with Fluval lights. Animal Crossing is fun. Is Animal Crossing fun? Just what you need. I was going to say off-white, aka antique ivory, or dirty. The snow helped. So the snow kind of like, you know how like snow, like it starts to cake up in the wheel wells, and it's like the outside, the lower part. I went and kicked it all off yesterday, and it took all the dirt off with it too. So now there's like nice white patches, but yeah. I have a red mangrove propagule in my freshwater tank. Anyone have any experience growing them? I definitely do not. Gold nugget pleco tetra. Maybe someone in chat. I've never even heard of that plant. Red mangrove propagule. Truck gets rained on, washed. Yeah, I didn't spend my life savings on this truck just to have to wash it. Like, are you kidding me? This truck was like $2,500, and you don't wash $2,500 trucks. You just don't. It's like a waste of time. Complete waste of time. Every nitrite I've committed suicide. Oh, every nearite has committed suicide out of the tank. Snails. I mean, mystery snails are the worst, but nearites generally will stay in a tank, but they will crawl out. It's still kicking? What? I only remember your truck because it was a pure coincidence because my brother has the same truck, just a short bed. Mine's a short bed. And it's impossible to find a canopy for it. There's 8-foot beds, like, all down the side of the road. You can just pick an 8-foot bed up that someone threw away. 6-foot bed? I think, what is it, like 6.5 foot bed? Something? I don't know. Cannot find a freaking canopy to save my life. I gave up. But, you know, it's got the 302 5-liter, and that thing, it's got 250-some thousand miles, and it still runs really strong, so can't complain. My dad once washed a rental car I was driving. Some folks just really like washing cars. Ooh, I would never wash a rental car. Like, I would have that thing caked in so much dirt that they couldn't see all the scratches that I caused. Maybe so much dirt that they wouldn't even be able to see the dents in it. It's true. Plus, washing it might make it fall apart. Yeah, I mean, serious. Old tank syndrome is when the keeper doesn't sample snails. I like all the snails. I just don't like keeping them. Thanks for the stream. I have to go to bed. 3 a.m. Wake up tomorrow. Have a great night. $5 super chat from Ginger. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one. And see you next week. Or actually, probably in the members only stream. Oh, yeah. Yours is a 4x4 and his was a 2-wheel drive. I know. See, why even buy a truck? I don't even understand why trucks are even made in 2-wheel drive. It makes no sense to me. Okay, maybe if you live in like Nevada or something, but still, what a waste. This is coming from someone who bought a 2-wheel drive Jeep. Yes, I did. I bought a 2-wheel drive Jeep. The most reliable car I have ever owned, as a matter of fact. Kevin, as well. Good stream. As always, gotta run. Oh, it is that time. It is already 10 o'clock. Holy smokes. Snail pancake? To fix, it's best to just break down the tank and clean it and start over. Yeah. You know, if you have old tank syndrome, tear it apart, start over. 100%. Way easier than trying to build your KH back up. I just saw a 2016 F450 with 250,000 miles on it. It was $50,000 still. Insanity. Yeah, that's insane. That is 100% insane. I have been looking since I have regretted selling my Jeep ever since I sold it, and I've been looking for another one. And of course, now the prices are just astronomical. Like, there is one by me with 345,000 miles, and they want like a Jeep Cherokee, and they want like $5,000 for it. I'm like, in what world is a car with 350,000 miles that's what is it, 30 years old as well? Get out of here. He got in Texas where he lives. Always like okay. So converting a 2-wheel drive to a 4-wheel drive is like trying to cure old tank syndrome. It's just cheaper to start over. Get rid of the truck and just buy a 4x4. Seriously. I'm telling you. Bob glitched again on my end. Well, that's okay because it's time to go. Putting the cap on the camera. Oh, there you go. Or not. Thanks everyone for coming out. This was a really fun stream, and thanks for listening to me just rant kind of, or just talk at the beginning. I appreciate it. Thanks all the super chatters. Thanks moderators for linking all the links, and thanks everyone for coming and hanging out, whether you're just a lurker or, you know, a contributor. I don't care either way. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the thumbs up, and members, we'll see you definitely this weekend, and maybe even sooner. I'm working on a little something, but, you know, that probably means I won't see you for like a month, but still. That was a weird glitch. Weird glitch. I always tell them this is street rod. Yeah, a pavement princess. 2-wheel drive trucks are just pavement princesses. That's it. That's the way it is. Thanks for the fun live stream, Bob. Hope everyone's year is fantastic. I agree. I have an old male Jeep, steering wheel on the wrong side. Oh, loved it. Thanks. Oh, you used to have it. I was gonna say, like, I was gonna ask you if I can have it. Can I have your Jeep? You don't want it anymore. It's in the way. Let me just come and take that. I'll get it out of your way. All right. What? Don't forget to actually turn the camera off. Typical Zoom issue, leaving sound connected with video off. Yeah, I don't think it works that way.